Hey, Russell Leeds here, and this week I'm going to be talking about one of the most important parts of the sales process. Now, last week we looked at how you've got to be won over, you've got to love your products before you can sell it. You sell yourself before you can sell anyone else. This week I'm going to be talking about, I would say this is the most important part. This is where most salespeople fall down. In fact, the reason that most people don't like being sold to is because most salespeople don't do this thing very well. Let me give you an example. I wanted to order a check-in, check-out process for my team at our offices. And my PA hooked me up with this company that came in to sell me their machine. And he was going on and on for about half an hour about all these different things that this machine could do. He was talking about how if you had contractors that came on site, this machine would work for them and you could give their builders special cards and all these features. To be honest, I can't really remember because I switched off because I wasn't interested. But he was telling me all these features about this machine could do, and he completely lost the sale because he was just banging on about everything that was brilliant and amazing about this machine. Now, I could tell he had a real passion and that he was really won over. He'd sold himself on the machine, which is great. Well done him. However, he didn't do the most important thing when you're selling your product. He didn't ask me any questions. So the second step of the sales process is to investigate. Your job is to find out what they want and then fulfill that need, if you can. So when you're selling your product, your service, the very first thing you've got to do when you get into a conversation with someone is start asking them questions. Now, there's a particular type of question that you're going to need to ask, and they're called open-ended questions. So what's an open-ended question? An open-ended question is a question where they can't answer yes or no. They've got to enter some dialogue with you. So you wouldn't say, as a photocopier guy, you wouldn't say, do you want to buy my machine? Because I might say no, in which case it's very difficult to recover from that. A much better question would be to say, so why did you call me to see you today? What is it you're after? And then you're finding out what they want. Because obviously I've made contact with them. I'm interested in their machine, of course. But rather than him assuming what he thinks I might be interested in, you're going to ask me some questions. Car salespeople do it all the time. It's crazy. I remember I went to a garage and I wanted to buy the SLC, so a small Mercedes, but this was a few years ago now. I went to buy the SLC. So I went to the Mercedes garage and I was like, man, I really want to buy your SLC. And he spent about, could I test drive it? He spent about half an hour telling me why I shouldn't buy an SLC and why I should buy an A-Class instead. Now, I didn't want an A-Class because for me, the look of the car is really, really important. And the only reason I wanted to buy an SLC was because I thought it looked cool. The A-Class, I didn't think looked cool. So I'm looking at that, and he's now put me off the SLC, but he's not sold me on the A-Class because it doesn't look cool. And I ended up leaving and buying nothing. And I ended up buying a C-Class from a different dealership about 6 months later. So he did a terrible job. What he should have said was, if I'm going in and say I want to buy an SLC, amazing, SLC is brilliant. Why are you interested in the SLC? And then because I think it looks cool. It does look cool. And you sell them on what it's got, what I want, not what he wants. Seriously, the amount of sales professionals that I've seen that don't do this, they just take their products, they really like it, and they try and jam it down your throat. And this is the reason people don't like being sold to. Everyone likes being sold to. Everyone likes buying stuff. Right, I'm sure you're watching. I bet you love it when you go shopping and you something that you want and you buy it, you get a good feeling. You love buying stuff. We don't like being sold to because people try and sell stuff to us that we don't want. If you're a good salesperson, you find out what they want and then you fulfill the need. And you know the beautiful thing about this as well is it pretty much eliminates rejection. The biggest reason people aren't interested, don't like selling, is they at the fear of being rejected. But if you just investigate first and you realize they don't want your product, then don't sell it to them because it's no good for them. In which case, you won't get rejected because you're not cold. I hate cold calling, by the way. Never cold call, in my opinion. Cold calling sucks. You want to get people coming to you You want to get good leads, people that might be interested, and then find out why they've come to you. But for me, this is one of the most important tips. It's one of the things that most salespeople, unfortunately, do not do. It's crazy, it's easy to do, and it means that you're serving the person and you're creating a win-win situation, not selling them something that they don't want. It's better for you, it's better for them, it's better for everyone. So make sure you investigate that. It's the second step of the sales process. Next week, I'm going to be talking about step number 3, but for me, this is one of the most important steps. Make sure you investigate whatever you're selling. Guys, thanks ever so much for watching the video. Do not forget to subscribe below, comment. I'd love to hear any stories of salespeople that didn't investigate with you when we're trying to sell you something, or vice versa, you know, where they have done a good job investigating. Any experience like that, please do share. Or if you just found the video helpful, love to hear from you. And I will see you next week.